Hi, welcome to Tag TV, and I'm your host, Lovely, and you're watching Tag Your Style with Lovely. And we're gonna talk about how to be a great CEO of a fashion week. And let me introduce to you the great people and great personality of their own community. First, the Canadian Asian Fashion Week executive producer, Miss Marlene Lucas, and the Mississauga Fashion Week, Mr. Athar Aryan Amir, and Hamilton Fashion Week, Ken Beller. You are a fashion week CEOs and executive producer. But aside from that, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hello, everybody. My name is Marlene Lucas. I am a CEO for Ja Lucas for 70 years. As a business person, you have to be persevere. You should be strong. You have to be a strong personality. Your communication skills is very important as an executive producer for Canadian Asian Fashion Week.
So, Mr. Ken?
So I'm Ken Dealer. My primary job is I run a marketing company for real estate. Through that, photography, marketing, it transitioned into producing Hamilton Fashion Week. And the thing that I kind of have learned from that is it's people skills. And when you run a business, and this is a business, and it's a business like no other, you have to be in charge of 100 things at a given time, and it's time management, and it's trying to figure out what everybody wants, and it's actually really challenging. It's more challenging than you can even put into words, because the money's always limited, and the demands are always very high. So
I know.
It's a matter of just kind of figuring out what the best options are at the time.
And Mr. Aryan?
Well, my name is Athar Aryan Amir, and I've been a community activist for a while. And I like to, when we started Mississauga Fashion Week, there was a big inspiration behind it to develop a fashion industry within the city of Mississauga as being a community activist. We've been working on many fronts within the city to develop it. And one of the parts we were seeing is arts and culture, and specifically in arts and culture, fashion was one of the parts which was mostly neglected.
Yeah.
And it is neglected pretty much in every city. You may go for the grants or anything you want to do. And a lot of time when you look at the fashion or people related to the industry, they're not taken seriously. Any model, designer, producers, they're like, they're just wasting their times and hours, but we want to go there. We want to look like these models, but we're not going to take these models seriously. So that's why under the brand of Beauty Against Brutality, we started Mississauga Fashion Week, and it was to create awareness and bring the business in the city.
And you're involved in politics as well, right?
Absolutely. Being an activist, politics is a side of it, and you need to make sure that what you say, you do it, and you bring the difference in real life and real changes. I've been just very, very, I would say, blessed to have an amazing friends and amazing teams and believers, because as these guys said, that running a fashion week is not a joke. It's a whole village. It's a whole village you need. You need a lot of believers who believe in your blind vision. That's what pretty much is. You tell them this is what it is, and they're like, fine.
So how did you get involved into fashion industry, and what's exciting to you about fashion?
What I see is a great merger of color and cultures. You know, it brings people together, and anything which brings people together, that's Canadian. And I love that, So you come on the ramp, you bring designers from different regions, and we all collaborate, And what is more beautiful than that? And of course, money, which eventually will come one day once you get noticed. But I'm glad that we can put the colors of my city on the stage, and we can show how diverse we are and what kind of business we can run with the colors and different originalities. And fashion is very beautiful, it's an expression, and it's an expression of anyone and everyone.
And it's diversity.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's a very big cultural sort of symbol.
Yes.
And for me, it's a lot of my national pride in Canada, where when you think about cultures of other parts of the world, one of the things you automatically think of is clothing and fashion and that sort of thing. And I find that in Canada, often that is lost. Like one of the actually great things is that when you think of Canada as diverse, so there are influences of all the different sort of cultures around, which is fantastic. But as we, I think, all agree, it'd be wonderful if we're in a situation where, there's a little bit more industry. People are actually more money at the whole process of being a designer, being a model, being a photographer, where it's not just like going out and it's a recreation sort of activity, where it's actual people's careers, and where it's something where they can go and put themselves into it. And that's actually my that's what drives me to do what I do, where young people who are looking for career choices, where they actually have a legitimate option to actually go and follow through in this industry, because it's one of the art forms that really isn't recognized yet.
Yes.
And it's starting, it's coming around, but it'd be great to see if a 12-year-old girl, she actually says, I want to be a professional fashion designer, and is actually able to achieve that.
Yes. So you guys are like, you're not just building or creating happiness or to individual, right? You're not just creating happiness, but you're building confidence.
Yes.
And you're promoting unity.
Absolutely.
To Canada or wheresoever. And as a CEO, but as a CEO, what is the biggest points? What is your biggest points as a CEO? Like what are the basic ingredients of a CEO?
I think what you have to do is you have to see what I personally have done is I identified the stakeholders in the industry, and I try and put myself in their shoes. What does a photographer need to be successful?
Yes.
What does a model need to be successful? What does a hair and makeup professional need to be successful? And then I try to provide that sort of an option as best as I can. Obviously, it takes more than that, but you have to lead by example. You have to go and provide the environment that allows people to have success.
How about
and you have to be like strive, and you have to be very confident in yourself, because without the confidence of yourself, you cannot be successful.
So how about you, Ryan?
Well, as a CEO of any organization, like you need to have a commitment, focus, determination, and you need to have a vision. Vision is very important, and I believe in that vision.
Yeah.
We are very blessed. I'm very blessed being in Mississauga, that when we actually thought about Mississauga Fashion Week, being a bedroom community at one time, it was a very alienated concept for everybody. But I was very, honored and blessed to, Madam Mayor Crombie. Like, she was one of the first persons I discussed this. I'm like, this is what we want to do, and she's like, I would love to. She's like, this is the best. So this is how the team starts, when you reach out to the people. And I think a CEO is a leader.
Yeah.
And as a leader, you create more leaders and you create allies. So before you become a CEO and you have a vision of something and you have a belief, you got to believe in yourself and the vision. And obviously bring people out. And I want to give a great shout out to our great honorable Mayor Crombie for helping us out and bringing Mississauga Fashion Week to the third year now. And also Kulsum Sayed, one of the executive directors of the company. She has worked day and night to make it where it happens. And sometimes because of these people and the support, being CEO looks like piece of cake because you have good friends and good people with you.
So being a CEO, you should have a great communication skills, and you have to build your own team, build a very good team, right? In order for you to be successful.
Yes.
So even if you have a very good team and you guys have your own ideas, your own concept and everything, there comes a time that a problem may occur, right? And how do you deal with those stress?
I've actually thought about this a lot. You need to have a thick skin.
Thick skin.
Unfortunately, you're dealing with a lot of people, so not everybody is going to agree. And so I find myself in a position where I communicate with as many people as possible. Somebody changes my mind, and then I start having to champion another person's idea. And to go and to kind of I'm not talking about my ideas anymore. I'm talking about other people's ideas and exchanging them. And then, but you have to you can't take things personally, because you might write down all the best plans in the world in your mind, and then other people change them, and then you just have to kind of go with the flow a bit as much as possible. And
that's right.
But again, you have to have a thick skin, because it's not a very easy process.
How about you, Miss Marlene? how do you deal with those stress during the Canadian Asian Fashion
Yes, I
Week?
know there's a lot of stress here, but I don't like to be stressed. Stress will gonna deal with me,
That's a good one.
right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So are you guys particular? Are you guys particular when it comes to fashion?
In which sense?
Yeah, like
personal fashion? or-
yes, whatever. Like you guys likes fashion.
Yes, for me, as a person, I love fashion since I was 5 years old. And I just want to bring out here in Canada because like as a kid, as a child, I want this youth, I just want to help them to realize that fashion is really good and there. Like you cannot see fashion not only in the runway, but you can see fashion on the streets, everywhere. Just like here, we are in fashion, right? So like fashion is like everywhere, not only in the runway.
Like even the street.
Yeah, every
Yeah.
the street, you can see
Fashion.
fashion there.
Well, fashion is clothing. Fashion is
Yes,
how you
fashion
express
tells
people to
everything.
yourself.
Yes.
I know with me personally, I'm a bigger guy, so I need to have more designers out there designing clothing for bigger guys. Like, because I just try to make things work for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
let's be blunt. I want to when I get dressed, I want to feel good about myself, and I think that's what a lot of people are, and they want to express themselves, and that's I think how my personal fashion sense is that I just want to feel good about how I present myself.
Yeah, just to
Yes.
just being yourself.
Just being myself.
Exactly. It's
Exactly.
your style and
Just
it's
being
your
yourself.
expression.
Yeah.
And I remember during your fashion site,
Mm-hmm.
that was Thursday when you invited me
Fashion Insight.
to go for Fashion
Yes.
Insight.
Yeah.
They help you to build your own confidence.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Confidence. I love
and,
that word.
And I really admire all those people. Who was that? Who are those people during
Well,
that time?
we had a lot of people. What we do when we do Fashion Insight, we like to promote our designers, and there were a lot of designers were there.
Manur was there.
Huh?
Manur.
Manur was
And
there.
the
Yes.
popular Santa model.
Santa was there.
Okay. So
Fashion Santa.
Fashion Santa
Fashion
was
Santa,
there.
yes.
We have our own designers from Mississauga as well. And the purpose for that day was just to provide an honorable and respectful platform for people to showcase their art. Because one thing I've seen in the industry of art and culture that usually when there's an emerging artist, they literally need to beg to show their art.
I know.
They need to
Yes.
plead to people, like please like us, see what we're doing. So being a fashion week or being in providing any of these platforms, any cultural platform, that's the purpose, to provide them honorable, grateful platform and making people in public realize. So when we were doing Fashion Insight, that was the purpose of it. So people can get together and understand each other, in the industry and network and grow from there.
And you guys started since 2014, right?
Yes, it's been 3 years now.
And Ken Miller
And so
is
we're actually
2014.
approaching we're in our fourth year now.
a 4 year now.
Yeah.
So okay, since you started since 2014, how you guys stay innovative and creative in all your fashion week? You guys have your what's that, like a new idea every year when
Right.
you
Well, one of the things we do with the Fashion Week is that we always try to connect it with the current cause, and then we design our whole week according to that cause. So we started from Hunger-Free Mississauga, then we moved into the mental health and illness. So this is what basically brings the new ideas for the Fashion Week, because the thing is that we want to give back to the city and community, and we want to develop, and the new ideas come as you emerge. With other people join you and you join them, and as he said that you share ideas and you stay innovative because time is changing, people are changing, technology is changing,
Yeah.
and the need of fashion is changing,
I know.
So that's why you gotta be on top of the game.
Yes.
That's right.
That's right. Yeah.
I know from our point of view, in Hamilton, it's actually known as an emerging sort of art in a community, and it's a great community to be a part of this whole scene. One of the things is that we actually partnered up last year with, we held our shows in actual movie studio. We converted a movie studio into our runway and that sort of thing. And in order to keep fresh, because quite honestly, in this sort of way of thing, if you're not fresh, you're obsolete.
I know.
So we actually had some of our the people who design sets for movies to help us out with like photo shoots and whatever to create like really creative
you do
sort of ideas.
photography too as well, right?
Yeah, so I do photography as well. So I look at it from that point of view. As I said earlier, we're in a position where we're forced to do a lot of things.
That's your responsibility.
Yeah, my responsibility is to do a lot of things. And so in order to keep fresh, you have to be open to these ideas and present it in a different way every time.
Yes. So this year, what are we expecting and what are we looking forward to your show?
Okay, Canadian Asian Fashion Week this year will be May the 6th and 7th. Our finale designer is Jackie Peñalosa. Jackie Peñalosa is one of our fashion icon designer in the Philippines. She was doing this for like 25 years as a runway catwalk in Milan, Italy, Russia, Japan, Korea. So she was being invited here to come over to show her designs for May the 7th. So please.
So that would be the highlight. Jackie
Yeah, that was
Peñalosa.
the highlight.
Oh, okay. So any designers?
Yes, we have lots of designers. We have like 12
Or you're
designers.
still in the process? Okay.
No, we have like 12 designers
12
coming
designers,
here over,
wow.
like from Bangladesh, China, South Korea, Vietnam.
It's like Miss Universe.
Yes.
Yeah.
So how about you, Mr. Ken?
So our Hamilton Fashion Week will be the 3rd week of October this year. We are in the planning process, but what it stands right now is we're going to bring in all local and Canadian designers, independent designers, and what our goal is to present a really professional sort of platform for them to launch their careers.
And
Well, for Mississauga Fashion Week, we're looking into second week in May. We do the whole event here called May in Mississauga, and then we're going to make this Mississauga Fashion Week part of that. We have, since our focus is local, and so our preference is always to have as many local designers and local boutiques so we can bring a lot of business to the local city. And we're going to be seeing a lot of surprises, a lot of new people coming out, a lot of students from the universities, new graduates coming in, and that's where I see the industry is. And that's the main purpose of Mississauga Fashion Week, is to develop a local industry for locals.
Yes.
So our people don't have to go somewhere else to find business. And of course, like we are reaching almost 800,000 people in Mississauga, and we are in need of fashion as well.
that's great. So I've learned so much from you today. Being like us, being a great CEO, the role of being a CEO is like you have to have a good strategy.
Absolutely.
Right? Good strategy and great communication skills, and build a good team.
Yes, and also Canadian Asian Fashion Week will gonna be held in city of Ajax for this year.
Very nice.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
So thank you for coming here. We are so delightful to have you here at Tag TV.
#1 multicultural channel. This is Tag TV.